You listen to KXLU. This is Livation. Our band canceled. It's okay because we have some very special guests up tonight. Mike Pearson and Rob Richards.
Yes.
We're talking about the book, One Step Beyond, a teenage Odyssey in 1980s Los Angeles. Speaking of the Odyssey, I hated that place. Hated that place.
You used to dance there.
If you wanted herpes, that's where you went. You went to the Odyssey. Let's talk about the book.
Yeah. Mike, would you...
You said you've been working on this book for 20 years. Actually, you've probably been working on this book since you were 14. And it's very well bound. It's very nice. You got an ISBN number. It's everywhere. Had an amazing amount of response. I've been watching. What made you bring this book out now?
Well, I started working on it a long time ago, and I kind of just put it away, didn't finish it. Then I decided, I finally got to just finish this thing and get it out there, and I think people will enjoy it. Younger people who are kind of into the 80s will enjoy it, and people our age who are kind of nostalgic about like the old days will enjoy it. So I compiled it all and just tried to get a good narrative flow going, and then I got Robert to do the art, and then I got Carlotta Atlee to edit the book, which that was
really
fantastic. Yeah, she did a great job. Her mom even went through it and helped edit it. Robert went through it and found some stuff and helped edit it. And then once we got the art together, we got this guy Job to do the layout, the cover and the spine and the back, and it's just turned out awesome.
It's a beautiful book.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now, that's the coolest thing about this, is that it's a totally homespun kind of a thing. You got Carlotta. Look, a lot of you aren't going to know who Carlotta is. A lot of you aren't going to know who Mike is or Robert is. But
you don't even know who we are.
Thank
you for listening.
Exactly. KXLU 88.9 FM Los Angeles. It seems really homespun, like you've had a lot of local help, Yeah. And then again, here we are, Robert and I, putting you on the air and promoting it.
Right. Yeah. It's self-published, it's but it I've been Facebooking the hell out of it, and it's kind of catching on, people are buying it, and people are, I got some fans on Facebook, and I appreciate all the fans out there. You can find it on Facebook, through the title One Step Beyond, A Teenage Odyssey.
I got it through Amazon.
Yeah, and then there's a link on the Facebook that goes to Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's interesting is your profession right now in the South Bay. Have you shown this book to anybody you're working with?
I gave it to the people at work. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm the admissions director at a locked psych treatment facility in the South Bay for teenagers. And the teenagers I work with are probably about 5 times more intense than we used to be.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if it's locked, yeah.
And it's fun helping them. I feel like I'm kind of helping myself in a way when I help them.
Are they listening tonight?
No, they're probably
asleep.
Have you shown them the book?
Asleep or organizing a riot or something.
Have you given them the book? Have they seen it? Do they know that?
I don't think I want them to see it.
It might be mild.
They can't. I don't want them to have anything against me that they can use.
Right. So maybe you should have used a different name when you wrote the book, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the name of the book is One Step Beyond.
A Teenage Odyssey in 1980s Los Angeles.
Yeah, it starts with me getting arrested for selling weed to a narc at high school and getting kicked out.
That was BS.
Yeah, I remember
that was...
Yeah, I sold weed to a guy named Bob, who I thought was...
With a beat-up Dodge Charger, said he was from Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Baseball cap, overweight. Nice guy.
The guy that looked like the narc, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was the only guy with short hair.
And the 2 guys that everybody called the narcs weren't narcs.
Right. I remember one.
Well, he bugged me. Hey, could you get me some weed? I miss smoking weed. Oh, my God. Get it for me, please. After he asked me about 20 times, I finally went out of my way and got him some.
Do you think maybe
you
might have thought twice when he asked you for Mary Jane?
Some herb.
Can you get me a couple of fingers of Colombian gold? And it's like, oh, it's 1981.
Dude,
Right.
you just might be
Hello,
an arc.
Mumbo.
Panama Red.
Hey, you got a little cone of gold,
When you told him you had Indy, he said, I don't know her. It's like, that was a clue right there.
Hey, you Indy, you brought her. Huh?
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. Yeah.
I remember when I first read the book, before I was asked to do the artwork for it, and we talked about that, I read the whole book, and I really thought it was good. I liked it a lot, and I was really happy to be able to illustrate it. And when Mike and I started talking about, I think we first approached trying to figure out the best way to do the book cover. And what we were looking
Love the
for.
cover.
Thank you. What we were looking for in that is trying to emulate the Mad Magazine covers that we both grew up on in like the
good job at it, by the way.
Thanks. The early 70s and even the late 60s. There were a couple artists at Mad Magazine as a young artist, as a little kid. I liked Mort Drucker and Jack Davis. And those two really, I tried to emulate them on the cover. And also, Mike and I both wanted to do sort of a movie poster that you would see in the 1970s, like an Irwin Allen movie poster, like for Earthquake,
like one of the disaster,
the disaster, like Towering Inferno, Poseidon Adventure.
Go for it.
Yeah,
even,
go
like
for it. So we wanted like the main figure being Mike in the center with sort of all the craziness going on around him with all the different characters,
the different
and
scenes
like that.
and stuff go around.
So that's how we ended up with that. And then the actual illustrations, I was always a fan of books like The Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland, and the artists Sir John Tenniel, who did Alice in Wonderland, and W.W. Denslow, who did The Wizard of Oz, were two illustrators that I really looked up to and wanted to sort of do something that looked like that. So that's how we ended up with the illustrations.
And the illustrations are cool because they go exactly with what's happening in the book. So you'll get to a certain point, and there'll be like a key scene that you really like want to see, and then all of a sudden there'll be the illustration, and it'll be of like something insane that happens.
Yeah, I remember talking about that. We didn't want some books where you are reading through the chapter and then you finally get to an illustration and it's 100 pages past the part of the story, and you're sort of like, what's this drawing supposed to be of? And we wanted to make sure to give the people as much of a chance of understanding what they were looking at with what they were reading as possible.
I like the two girls kissing you on the left side there. What a stud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. To me, it's because we've lived it. I mean, to those that don't know, it'll be an interesting trip through the 80s and the Palisades, I guess. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's kind of like it goes from like the rock and roll years and like the 70s classic rock stuff
Like
to
we all
getting
were
into
raised.
mod and new wave and ska and punk.
Right.
And then I get in my punk band and we start playing shows and I meet my girlfriend and think that that's the best thing that ever happened to me and get my heart obliterated and
You got a chapter called Winter, Planet of the Apes. You're not referring to the one downtown, right?
No,
that's
I'm
something
referring
different.
to the Camp Giuseppe where we take the hike up to the place called Planet of the Apes, where we would take night hikes drinking beers up there.
See what? Did they ever pull the albino farm thing on you when you were a kid? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
the
remember
albino
that.
farm.
Yeah, man, that
It's supposed to be
place
up at
was-
Amalfi, right?
All the
man.
older kids would take the younger kids up the hill, and there'd be other kids dressed up in white face with baseball bats.
Yeah.
And they'd chase you down the hill.
Don't go in there.
It's the albino
don't
farm,
go
man.
in there.
Be
Don't go in
careful.
there.
That's where the albinos live.
It's where the albinos live.